Hello and welcome to the Face-to-Face channel on YouTube. My name is Umaru Sandamad. On Face-to-Face today, my guest is one of the 10 contestants in the just ended Superdelegates elections of the New Patriotic Party. He, though, this will not be his first time. In 2014, he was part of the top 5. This time around, he's part of the top 5-6 because he and Chairman Addai-Nimoh are tying for the 5th position. My guest is former Member of Parliament for Mampong, the Honorable Francis Addai-Nimoh. Watch this and share the link for others to know about it. Plus, subscribe to our YouTube channel on Face-to-Face. The New Patriotic Party has gone to the polls and the verdict is clear. They want Dr. Bawumia and they don't want Dr. Akufo-Addo. But there are 8 people in the middle. What is the NPP saying to those people? That's a conversation we're having on Face-to-Face today. My name is Umaru Sandamad and you're welcome. Well, so when the verdict was returned on Saturday after the NPP Superdelegate Congress, the overwhelming majority of the group of 900 voted for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, so he came tops. Kennedy Japong, the newest guy on the block, or the one who you can describe as a wild dog, I mean the guy who many people didn't give a chance, came number 2, dislodging Alan Kojo-Chemantin, who has been at this race for, what, 16 years. And then the party was looking for the top 5. The delegates decided to play a little mischief by deciding that they would give 3 people the clear chance to be in the top 5 and then confuse the system. Okay, they gave 4 people. They brought Kojo Efriye Akoto, not Kojo, Dr. Efriye Akoto, who is former Minister for Agriculture. They made him the 4th person. Then for the 5th position, the delegates decided to play some game by deciding to put 2 people there. These 2 people, one of them has made it before in the past to be top 5. He's former Member of Parliament for Mampong. Now, he's doing that with a man who was Minister for Power in the Eastern region. That's where he comes from, Chairman Addai-Nimoh. So my guest on Face-to-Face is one of the 2 people who are yet to be sure whether they will be in the 5 or not, and the party is yet to make a determination. His name is Francis Addai-Nimoh. He's a former Member of Parliament for Mampong. And you can call him a serial NPP flag-bearer aspirant. You're welcome to Face-to-Face.
Well, thanks for having me on Face-to-Face, Sanda. But I don't know why you have to describe me as a serial NPP flag-bearer. Okay, because this is my second time.
I'll give serial to Kofi-Addo then.
Okay.
If that's it. I mean, maybe Alan Chemantin would take serial.
Well, very well.
Yeah. But this is not your second. This
is my second time for the presidential race.
Okay.
My first attempt was in 2014, and then that is the last 9 years.
You didn't do anything since then?
No, the party has not gone into any competitive flag bearership race for the past 9 years until now.
So the first time you did it, the party, that was when the party introduced this 5 reduction to 5 thing.
That is
and you
correct.
made it to the top 5.
That is correct.
You beat off competition from people who were already actively involved in politics. Maybe they haven't run for the presidency before, but you did that. And then this time around, you were again in the top 5. So congratulations, I think it's in order.
Thank you very much.
You're in the top 6, not top 5.
Well, let's say top 5, but the 5th position split. So one can describe it as 5A. I mean, being a physical scientist, as 5A, 5B.
Okay. Who is A and who is B?
Well, if you allow me, I'm doing this based on my knowledge in purely mathematical sense.
Okay.
Okay. I wasn't a delegate. My colleague, Boache Jaku, was a delegate.
Oh, he
and
was?
Also an aspirant.
No,
yes.
Delegates are for people who are currently... He does not qualify to be a delegate, is he?
Yes, that is what you need to cross-check.
Okay, please help me
So,
understand.
though I'm giving you the information.
Go ahead.
If you know the composition of the special college election or the super delegates, the composition is that you need, some people are National Council members, National Executive Committee, Regional Executive Committee, external branches. My colleague, Honorable Boache Jaku, is a member of the National Council.
Okay, okay. So
Representing Eastern Region. And by virtue of being a member, then he is also, or he was, a delegate.
I see.
Not only him.
Okay.
Not only him. Comrade Japan is a former General Secretary. And so former national officers are also part of the college or delegates for the special college. So Comrade Japan was a delegate. Not only him, Kennedy Japan, by virtue of being
an MP,
a sitting member of parliament, together with Joe Gatti, who is also a sitting member of parliament, they were delegates. And not only them, the vice president was a delegate because he's a member of the National Executive Committee.
okay.
Francis Addai-Nimoh was not a delegate. So I pulled 9 votes. Boache Jaku, together with his 1 vote, also got 9 votes. So if it
he
were
had a
to be a
competitive
match,
advantage.
if it were to be a match and I had gone to his home and me as an away team in his home,
You draw.
had a draw, then who should be given the...
You should take the credit for
Yes,
that.
that is
Oh, I
correct.
see. So you, Dr. Kofi Apreku, maybe the Agric Minister,
Agric Minister,
Alan
Kojopoku,
Chemantin,
Alan Chemantin.
you didn't have votes?
No.
So for you, if no one had voted for you, 0 will be straight?
0. That is why Kofi Kurando got 0. If he were to be a delegate, I'm quite sure he would have voted for himself.
Yeah, unless maybe he gave up on himself when he went to the booth. We'll talk about the election and how you're going to deal with this 5th position thing,
Yes.
but let's double back and look at the campaign. You had a conversation with me here. You were very convinced that you had done a good job for the party and you believe that you were the right person. You've been going around the country. How was the campaign? How fair was the field? Because there were times that the 9 of you had to issue a statement, you made some demands and all of those things. How fair would you describe the field ahead of the election and even on election day itself?
Okay. Sandra, let me, for viewers to understand. The exercise that was conducted last Saturday termed superdelegates elections of the NPP. In our constitution, it is special college election.
Okay.
The objective is to shortlist the contestants, whatever be the number, to 5. The objective of that exercise is not to elect a flag bearer, neither to predict who becomes the flag bearer. It is a shortlisting process. In fact, the Conservative Party of UK has a similar process that they go through. And if you recall, when Boris Johnson resigned in 2022 and the Conservative Party had to search for a new leader, you had the Jeremy Hunt, Ben Wallace, Rishi Sunak, Les Truss, Penny Morgan. I'm not sure of Penny Morgan, but there were others. So they went through the first round of voting, second round of voting, before the main contest. So if you are looking at it, like what we as New Patriotic Party, we have in our constitution, there is some similarity in that. And so I just want your cherished viewers and listeners to know that that is the objective. So that whatever the outcome of this election is not to say that we have elected a flag bearer or we have given an indication of who will be the flag bearer. No.
Okay. So it should not be understood to mean that.
No.
It's not a done deal for anybody.
Not at all.
Okay.
Though the only precedent we have as a party is the 2014 one, which was the first one. And at that time, the party was in opposition. And this second time, we are going We've gone through the superdelegates. The party is in government, so the conditions are different. Mm-hmm. Now, to ask me about how fair was the field, and I'll talk about the fairness in 3 categories: before, during, and perhaps after.
Okay.
Before, of course, when nominations opened, 10 of us purchased our forms, put in our applications, went through the vetting. Vetting qualified, recommended all of us, and approved by the National Council. So all the 10 aspirants or nominees, we were approved. Together, from the experience of 2014, we assisted the elections committee in developing the guidelines for the conduct of these special college elections. There's Professor Michael Quay's led elections committee. Some of us gave input because of our previous experience in 2014. So, to allow or to achieve free, fair, transparent process. One of the worry was perhaps the issue of intimidation, coercion, threat. No. And so we made sure that certain clear-cut provisions were made in the guidelines that would eliminate or allow delegates to have their freedom of exercising their right to vote by secret ballot. So clearly we did all that, and then I think that it was fair. In terms of individuals' campaign, the strategies were different. Because we know the Electoral College, I mean...
Did they supply you with the
register?
Minute details? You have that?
Yes, we had the register.
So you could contact the people?
You could contact the people. Perhaps the slight difficulties we had was with the external delegates, external branches delegates. And you know, by the composition, every external branch of the party gave 3 delegates. And the external branches are 27 in number.
Okay.
United States is 1 as an external branch, 3 delegates. Canada, external branch. UK, external branch, 3. Germany, France, Italy, Belgium, Netherlands, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Austria, Spain, Japan, South Korea, Australia, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire.
You mentioned the tall list there. You've done well.
Yeah.
May have you memorized all of that.
Yeah.
So all of them,
3 each for each of these external. So the challenge was that how would you reach out? Of course, we tried to use technology to reach out to them and to campaign. But technology campaign is not the same as face-to-face on your program here for me to campaign to you. So some of the delegates arrived maybe 3-4 days to the day of voting. Those who came earlier
Did the party have to transport them, or the candidate has to pay?
Well,
so if someone is in India and wants to come and vote for you,
well, it was an issue that personally I asked the elections committee, how are we getting the external branches delegates in Ghana? Because they have to travel several thousands of kilometers, over 6,000, over 7,000 kilometers. And who should bear the cost? You know, well, some explanation was offered, though I was not sufficiently satisfied. We just had to allow it to come.
What did they say? Did they say that the party would foot the bill? Or
no,
they said,
the delegates were supposed to come.
So if a candidate reaches out to the delegate and transports them?
Well, I think it's an experience that going forward, as a party, we have to look at it.
You could have voted through postal system, no?
Well, we haven't done it before.
Or maybe Zoom, I don't know.
So that's why I'm saying that all these things, and you know, Sandra, and for your viewers, the external branches by the Constitution for the super delegates have 3 delegates each. But if you come home, a constituency has only 1 delegate, the chairman.
That's not fair.
Yes. So there is all
If
these
General
things.
Secretary, regional constituency secretary doesn't vote.
No, it's only
chairman.
the constituency chairman. And if there is an MP in that constituency,
okay.
then he will also vote. In this particular case, we only had 137 constituencies with certain members of parliament, and so we had only 137. But the comparison I'm making between the constituencies in Ghana with the external branches, where they are giving 3 delegates, and constituencies are giving only 1 delegate, who is the chairman, it creates an imbalance. It creates an imbalance.
So the foreign branches are given more power or recognition than the local branches. You think?
There could be a
except that when you look at it in that way, constituencies fall within regions. Regions also have all the executives going. Well, how about that?
There are only 17-member regional executives.
Yes.
That is all, 17.
Yeah, but 17 times how many? 7 or 9 at the regional level? All the regional executives vote.
All the regional executives. That is why they are 17. No, I'm talking about the regional executives.
Yes.
They are only 17.
Yes, 17 times 16. That's a lot.
17 times 16 is 272.
That's big.
No, wait a moment.
I don't know the mathematics, but I'm just saying
that is for the region.
Yes.
But if you take a region like Greater Accra with 34 constituencies, and then only 17 regional executives, then you take also a region like Ahafo region with only 6 constituencies against 17 regional executives. So that is also an imbalance. If you take Northeast, 6 constituencies, 17 regional executives.
How do you want to cure that?
It must be cured. It must be cured. It is one of the things that after this process, I intend to put a proposal to the Constitutional and Legal Committee of the party that we need, if we have to proceed with this superdelegates exercise into the future, we must cure a lot of things in the Constitution.
Okay. The superdelegates election itself, you've already just given me the catalogue of what happens in the UK system. There are people who hold a view that you don't need superdelegates, just go to the mass of the delegates. Yeah. What is your view on that?
Well, that is, I mean, ideally, that should be the ultimate. That should be the ultimate.
1 man, 1 vote.
1 man, 1 vote should be the ultimate. But you know, we are here because of 2017 contestants' experience. And so when the party lost in 2008, then 2009, then the discussions of having some amendment to our constitution came up. And there was a funny statement was made. You are aware. The statement that was made by Sidin Ketia.
Yep, 17. I can repeat, 17 thieves.
Yes, going to
we'll choose the biggest of the thieves.
I mean, somehow
you didn't want that.
Well,
it was a blot on the image of the party.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it is all part, and maybe the other consequential issues of disunity in 2008, which caused the party also to lose, which could also be part of it.
But do you think it is, should you be coerced into changing your constitution because of what a general secretary of your opposing party has said?
Sandra, I don't subscribe to that.
You don't subscribe to the super
because we must. No, not that I don't subscribe to the super delegates.
Okay, you don't subscribe to what?
To any statement that is made.
No, I'm saying that there's a belief that you were coerced into changing your constitution because of that and other things. And also the issue of the unity and all of that. But I'm saying that for people, you are patriots, you are Democrats as a party. Do you think it is fair for 900 people to decide on behalf of 200,000 people who decide on behalf of 4 million or 5 million people? Is that fair? Well, should you not let every card-bearing member of the NPP vote?
That is the ultimate, which I know that into the future we should amend our constitution to achieve. And to achieve that, you must also ensure that the membership drive in each constituency becomes effective and efficient, and record keeping is achieved, so that everybody has a responsibility to pay his or her dues in the constituency and then to exercise his civic responsibility about the leadership of the party. So we have a responsibility. Okay. We have a task. Okay. We cannot just go to that level without ensuring that the base of it, all these things, is well done. Okay. Then we know what is going on.
This is Face to Face on City TV. My name is Umaru Sandama. My guest is Honorable Francis Addai-Nimoh. Well, he was in the contest on Saturday where the NPP went to choose 5 out of 10, ended up choosing 6 out of 10. He is one of 2 persons who have tied for the 5th position. I'll be hearing from him whether he's going to concede and hand it over to Chairman Jaku, or he's going to fight to the end. Plus, ahead of the Super Delegates Congress, they came together as a group of 9, made some demands. The party rejected that. They talked about intimidation if the election were to be decentralized and so on. Did that materialize, or it was a fear that has come to North, which was a storm in a teacup? This is Face to Face. Stay with us. You're welcome back. This is Face to Face on City TV. My name is Umaru Sandamado. On Face to Face today, my conversation is happening with Honorable Francis Addai-Nimoh. He is one of 10 persons who wanted to lead the New Patriotic Party, and you've seen the verdict that has just come out from the weekend's primaries. Honorable, before the Super Delegates election, how do you call it? Super Delegates what?
Well, election. Or special college election.
Special college election. The 9 of you said you didn't want the election to be decentralized like the party did. The party dismissed it after some careful analysis. Would you say that the party's position has been vindicated, or you would say that the comments you guys made and what you feared has come to pass, or you would admit that you were crying wolf where there was none?
Well, you know, yes, a petition or a request, I will not even use the word petition. A request was made to the National Council, signed by 9 of us, and I was expecting that all the 10 of us would sign. The reason was that we looked for 2 things: centralization of the exercise, and then
you wanted people to vote for 5 people at a go.
Yes, selection, how to select the 5 people, which is democratically should be exercised, because it's a selection process. And if it's a selection process, I may have a choice that I want you, Sandra, I want another guy, I want this.
So if this one doesn't go, this one should go. If this is up to 5 options.
Yes. So these were the 2 issues that we submitted before the National Council, and both issues were denied by the National Council. And so we had no choice. The centralization was one, just to bring the party, all of us together, and even it could be used as annual conference of the party, because the composition of the delegates there appears, if you critically examine, is the top echelon of the party.
The top cream.
Yes, of the party. Constituency chairman, regional officers, national officers, past national officers, sitting president, former president, vice president, National Council of Elders, and all that category. So you will see. So why don't we use that one also as a means of having an annual conference? And then in addition, we add these elections to 8 to select the 5 people. For us, or for me, that was the motive behind it. instead of decentralizing. Secondly, the total delegates are less than 1,000. They are less than 1,000. And if we have to vote, it's possible that we can converge at one center and vote. I mean, just last year, more than 6,000 or close to 7,000 delegates assembled at the Accra Sports Stadium.
To choose national officers.
To choose national officers. So what is wrong that we should have this with a fewer number, which is less than 1,000? Why don't we meet?
But then the critical one was that you said if the elections are held in isolation like it did, your agents are going to be intimidated, your voters are going to be intimidated.
Well,
did you record any case of intimidation? We've heard from Kenny Japan, we've heard from Alan Shamantin. Your agents, did anybody complain to you that? Anything?
Well, yes, I got a complaint from Oti region where the guidelines said that nobody could enter the voting area or go to vote with a photographic gadget such as smartphones or what. And the information I got from my agent was that the regional minister of OT then was trying to enter with his smartphone. So the agents there had to resist, that they wouldn't allow. So it is part of the process that we felt that all these things could occur and influence, the freedom and the opinions of delegates.
But now that it is over, would you say it really has happened, the influence has happened, or you think it was...
Well, you see, let me also give you, during the voting, the period for voting was for 4 hours, time frame, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it should suggest to you that if you have a region of about 30 delegates, you don't all need to come to the voting center at the same time.
Yeah.
If you are living about 100 kilometers away, it is expected that you can come and vote and go. So in the rules or the guidelines, we provided that the EC should administer only walk-in approach to vote. But we are aware that in some regions, all the delegates were in one bus. They came at the same time in one bus, got down and followed one after the other to do the voting.
And it's possible that they were brought by a candidate.
Well, I will not speculate that they were brought by a candidate. A typical example I know is in Northeast region, led by the Minister for Sports.
Yusuf Mustafa.
Yes.
He brought the
delegates. They were all in the bus. They came, and he was the first to vote. By the report that I got from my agent, he was the first to vote, and the rest, all the delegates, the remaining number of the delegates followed, and they all voted. So in the shortest possible time, they had concluded voting, but had to wait till 1 p.m.
But that's not a problem, right? Maybe they decided to contribute money to get a bus.
Well, you might say it's not a problem, but...
No, I'm just saying, if they rented a bus together, they thought that let's get one bus to pick all of us and bring us. Isn't that a problem?
Sanda, and for viewers, there's always a perception to something.
Yeah.
And
What's your fear in that particular instance?
My fear in that particular instance is that some delegates who might have had the preference for other candidates will be there's coercion. There's coercion.
All of you got 0 in OT though.
No.
And not OT Northeast.
Yes. The 9 of us, with the exception of the vice
Was
president.
100% for the vice president.
Yes. That is why I'm saying that in that approach of voting, there could be coercion.
Talking about the vice president, you've gone against a former presidential candidate before, Nana Akufo-Addo, when you were both in opposition. But now you are going against the sitting vice president. You had audacity at the time when you did what you did. But now your audacity is even more audacious. You got nerves going against the sitting vice president. Did you think about the magnitude of the campaign, what you are going against? You may even be going against the establishment, and you still decided to run, hoping that the NPP people would not choose the vice president, but choose you?
Well, Sanda, and for your cherished viewers, what is democracy? Then we must as well say that everybody, there shouldn't be opening of nomination. And then we have concluded on who becomes the flag bearer. Finished. it is an open process. Every card-bearing member in good standing, if you assess yourself and you believe that you have your conviction and you can convince yourself and have the courage that you want to provide quality leadership to the new patriotic party, for me, I will always encourage you to do so.
And that's what's spurring you on?
Yeah, what is wrong? Yes, I have my conviction. I have my ambition. So, in the same manner, any other person, all the other 9 aspirants, they also have their ambition. I don't know when somebody had his dream of leading the party, but I have had my dream for many years. So I'm pushing it, and I'm going ahead. I am looking at every personality. So before Saturday, I mean, within the media landscape, I mean, some of us were rubbish that we are counted out of the race. And that is one thing I'll criticize you, the media, through this platform.
Except that this media gave you this platform a few months ago. And this
that is correct.
So you can criticize every media except this one you're on.
Okay, face to face. Well, the point is that because you may not know the outcome of elections, we have to give chance to everybody.
But maybe it's because of what you put into the campaign. The media would gravitate towards someone who is leaving behind a mark.
Okay.
Maybe all of you were just in the song.
No,
but
we were not in. I recall,
the attention was
there's one incident that I'll call over here, that a group poster called, is it Global Info?
Global Info Analytics.
Yes. Put out some information, and some of us were giving 0,000.
But you've gotten 0,000. He has predicted. You got 0,000. So many places. You've got 0 in so many places.
Well, there could be other reasons, and there could be other inherent reasons.
No, but maybe the pollsters
But the point is that,
and this is what they said to him.
Omara, Sanda, the point is that the objective here is that we want 5 people who will go into the main contest. Let us know that is the objective of it. We have gotten the 5 people.
You are not yet gotten the 5 people.
Okay.
But before we get to how to get those 5 people, which one was more difficult, going in that contest with Akufo-Addo and Alan Chemantin, or going in this contest with Bawumia and Alan Chemantin? Which one was more difficult for you?
For me, I don't find any of them to be more difficult. The situation is that in the first one of 2014, the party was in opposition. And I was a member of parliament then. I was a sitting member of parliament. In this particular case, the party is in government, but I am not a sitting member of parliament. So if I have to say anything, it will be just around my status. Having been a member of parliament and currently not a member of parliament, not in the public position, any high-profile public office. So that may be the challenge for me there.
Going into the election, did you think and were you hoping to be number 1, or you were thinking and hoping you would be part of the first 5?
Well, the objective is to be part of the first 5.
That was your hope, and that's what you worked towards.
Yes, because, I mean, prior to the elections, you all guys, or you heard certain declarations being made here, being made there, being made there, being made there. Fair enough. Fair enough. Which, for me, I wasn't expecting those declarations to be made for the purposes of the unity of the party. But some individuals felt that, let me do that, okay? So if you have made a declaration of where your support is, then from the outset, I cannot even approach you to seek for your vote. So I will have to look somewhere where there is flexibility that I can convince and get others who will put me into the
These elections, are they about convictions and policies and views, or they are about money?
I know of financial influence. So there are 3 things in this particular case I will talk about: financial influence, integrity, intelligence. And I'll put integrity and intelligence to be 1, and financial influence to stand alone. So one has to assess financial influence versus intelligence and integrity. Which one would I go? how would I blend the two in deciding who is the most suitable person I should deliver my vote to. So this is my advice to delegates. There is always a motivation, but look at also integrity and look at intelligence. At the end, you are looking for somebody you want to repose your confidence in that person. You repose your confidence in that person. That person is going to manage your resources and make sure that he will apply your resources for your betterment. So only go for who is the most suitable person.
When you saw the results, did any of them surprise you? Did any of the votes surprise you?
Oh yes, I mean, in all the regions, I can assure you, I can tell you, yes, I was surprised because they were not the figures that
you were working with.
I was hoping.
Was there a region you were so confident of which turned out to be a disappointment?
Of course, even my own region.
How did you do in your own region?
I got 0 in Ashanti.
How could you have?
Well,
because there was a big issue about NPP being an Akan party, and you are Akan. There are a number of you from who are Akan. The Ashanti votes were a bit surprising, weren't they?
Well, they were a bit surprising, but that is what happened. So that's why I said maybe there could be some inherent reasons, and those reasons could not be made public if so be it. I mean, there are delegates, constituency chairmen, regional officers, MPs. There are 42 MPs in Ashanti, 46 chairmen in Ashanti who voted, 17 regional executives who voted. And so they may have their own inherent reasons for what happened.
But what about the votes itself? So you got 9 votes. Yes. What were you, which figure were you working with?
I was working with over 100 votes.
So you're supposed to get more than 100 votes?
Yes.
And you got 9?
Yes.
Did you get a headache, a migraine?
No. No.
You didn't get,
no.
You didn't sweat in your armpits?
No. You know
After
why?
all the money you spent?
No. Why? You see, it tells you about the unpredictability nature of human beings. And that is the whole explanation I'll give.
Were you surprised
People,
Bawumia?
you cannot predict a human being.
You fear delegates. Were you surprised Bawumia was tops?
No.
You were not surprised?
No, at all, because of the composition of the special collegiate, the delegates composition, and having known some declarations which had been made.
So it was anticipated?
Of course.
It was
and
what about your former colleague in Parliament, Kennedy Ejapong?
Kennedy? Well...
Coming second?
Well, I mean, he's also a member of Parliament, so in any case, he had a vote for himself, and he's done well.
So are you surprised he came second? So
I'm not
so
really surprised.
let me swap the surprise. Are you surprised Alan came third?
Well, I'm also not surprised.
Why?
Well, it's a game. It's a game. It's a game. It's just like a game between the teams in Ghana.
Tano Bofokwa.
And then Kotoko.
Yes.
And Tano Bofokwa in Kumasi Sports Stadium can surprisingly win over Kotoko.
Were you surprised the Minister Agric, former Minister for Agric, came tops of you?
No. I mean, they have all been government, so they might have had some influences whilst they were in government. They are in their public offices working, and I have not been part of the government. And you are aware for the past 7 years.
You are an opposition member in government. You are opposition.
No, I mean, well, politically that is how.
Okay, you are a minority in government.
I'm not minority, but I don't have any official position.
Is there any of the bottom 4 that you thought should have been or would have made it to the top 5? Did you think Kwabena Ejapong would go down? Did you think Kofi Konedo-Apoku, your former colleague, would have gone down? Do you think that, well, the new entrant in Safwa, Kojo Safwa, did you also think, who's the last person? It has just escaped me there. Jogati, yes, your friend from Esikado Kitan, my friend.
Yes.
Did you think all these 4 were going to lose out?
No. For me, I couldn't predict those who will lose out. I couldn't predict, and I didn't want to predict.
You didn't do any work ahead of the election to be
Well,
sure
I did, but I mean, I didn't want to focus. I wanted to focus on me.
On you.
Alone in making sure that I'll find myself in the top 5. Because why would I want to think, I mean, for your viewers, why would I want to think about
You didn't want to worry about other people?
No, because I went into the race thinking about Addai-Nimoh to make sure that I will be found in the first 5 when the verdict comes out, and then I will proceed to engage the bigger delegates who will select the flag bearer.
So you are happy that you have gone through this selection process. You don't subscribe to the school of thought that things, open it up, let everybody vote once and for all. We shouldn't even bother ourselves going through this process.
That is
because there's a view that this would also influence what the delegates will do eventually.
Well,
or you don't think so?
I think that if we have to keep this special college process in our constitution, we would have to look at the provisions of it, the composition of the delegates, and other things.
So that's what the point you've already made?
Yes.
Okay.
And that is why I said that when the process, this whole thing is over, the Constitution and Legal Committee should take a look at it.
Okay.
Then whether we should even scrap it at all. And
something should be considered.
Scrap it, yeah. If we are to maintain, then we have to review.
Very well. This is Face to Face on CDTV. I'm Umaru Sandamadu here with Honorable Francis Addai-Nimoh. When we come back now, I'm going to ask him about the 9 votes. He's expressed his view. He wanted to get more than 100 votes. He got 9 votes, but he's still in the game. What has the party said to him post-Saturday about what the plan is? Is there going to be a runoff? Are they going to be part of the bigger election on November 4? What is going to be the state of affairs? And what's the NPP going to sell to the Ghanaians on December 7, 2024? That's another bigger question I'll be putting to him. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. This is Face to Face on CDTV. I am Umaru Sandamadu here with Honorable Francis Addai-Nimoh. You and Chairman Jaku are having to fight for the number 5 position. Incidentally, you both have gray hair.
Yes.
How are you going to do
it?
Would you give it to him, or you would fight for it?
Well, by the rules or the guidelines, we agree that if there's a tie for the 5th position, then there should be a runoff on 2nd September. That is what we put in the guidelines. But the guidelines is a document approved by the National Council. So the information I have is that the National Council will be having a meeting tomorrow, Wednesday, and maybe they will look at the situation. Do we avoid the runoff? If we avoid the runoff, then what will be the decision of the National Council? Because the guidelines is not in the Constitution. It was made purposely for this superdelegates election. So the same National Council can vary, in my opinion, if we need to avoid the superdelegates, the runoff. And to say that the one option is that the tie there, we may have to allow the 2 personalities to run for the 4th November, which is one option, or we still insist in going for the runoff because we want to strictly have 5 persons. That is it. But for now, I'm still in the race.
The last time this happened, Kofi Osei and others, I think the other two of them, they dropped out and left you and Alan and Nana to go.
The last time, in 2014, there was also a tie between my good self and my friend Jogate for the third position. But because it was on the third position, we only needed one person. And in that case, Kofi Osei joined us with the fourth position. But we already had the first, second, and the tie in the third position.
Third and fourth.
So the tie, this is even not the first time.
Okay.
Except that in this case, it has happened at the fifth position.
So on the bridge?
Yes.
Now, so Jogate and Osei at the time dropped
Yes,
off.
at the time, then they came out to say that they were dropping out or withdrawing from the race, from the main contest.
Are you planning to drop out?
No.
You will be going for November 4.
But did I come for shortlisting? Or I ran to be a flag bearer?
But others withdrew on the way.
No,
Maybe you look at the number of votes, you'll be like, wait there,
okay. So I'll tell you something. When Boris Johnson resigned, when his government collapsed, and the Conservative Party searched for a new person, from the very beginning, Rishi Sunak, Jeremy Hunt, Ben Wallace were seen to be the front runners. The first round of voting, Liz Truss came to the fourth or fifth position. Then by the second round of voting,
she peaked
to the second position, and Rishi Sunak was in the first position. Then when they went for the main contest,
she won.
And that is how she became the prime minister for September to October.
So you don't take things for granted?
So I'm coming, yes. And now, Rishi Sunak is the prime minister, but he is not the elected leader.
Yeah. She has more validity than him.
Yes. Yeah. You get me. So if you have to give an interpretation to what is happening here, that is why I said that the exercise of last Saturday is a shortlisting. So once you are in the first 5, means you have the opportunity that you can become the flag bearer.
The people like you?
Yes. The numbers that you have made in the first instance may not translate into the main election. So I will be on the side of caution, and I will also urge the media to be on the side of caution of the main contest, which is ahead of us.
So we shouldn't expect you to bow out at all?
Why?
Because there was an earlier report that Ejaku had stepped down for you. He has come out to deny that.
Yes.
Would you call him and ask him to step down for you?
Well, that is a private matter.
Okay. Have you two had a conversation?
It's a private matter. don't push me to.
So, but for you, so you are just watching.
You know, we are friends.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, he's my senior brother.
Okay.
Okay. His father comes from Jamase, which is just a stone's throw from Mampong.
In your constituency?
No. In,
outside
the constituency, yeah, close.
Okay.
So both of us, we are from Sechere. In Ashanti region, we come from the area called Sechere. I'm from Mampong, and his father comes from Jamase, which is part of Sechere.
Okay.
And then his mother comes from Odumase Krobo.
Yes.
Okay. So we are all Sechere children.
So
he's my senior brother.
So you are now waiting to see what the party will do, whether the party would say go for the runoff or.
That is one. That is one aspect. The other aspect will be a private discussion, which cannot be made public.
But why don't you save the resources of the party, the two of you, by one deciding to step down, so you have final fight?
Well, I mean, these things could be private discussions.
Okay.
If private discussions have not produced the ultimate outcomes, why would you want to comment on them in public?
But it is certain you are not, you are not stepping down. You're going all the way to November 4.
Absolutely.
Unless there's a rerun and then it doesn't go well for you.
Absolutely.
I see. But you're very confident that you may end up getting a Rishi Sunak kind of success.
That is
happening
correct.
Ahead.
That is
what
correct.
if you are offered a running mate position and told to step down? Would
You have asked me this question before.
Now it is a critical question.
Is it not still premature?
No, it's not.
Sander.
Now where you have reached, right now you're bargaining for votes. November 4 is critical. There's the front runner is from the north. He needs an Ashanti to partner him or a Southerner to partner him.
Don't you think it is still premature at this stage?
Is it?
Yes.
Let me leave it
Why
then.
don't you go over
Let me leave
the
it
process?
then.
Yes.
So I'll leave it and we'll wait to see what happens on November 4.
Yes.
But on December 7 or November 7 next year,
yeah.
do you have a message? Do you think the whole ship called NPP deserves to remain in office?
Yes. This is where my message comes in, that the party, looking at the mood of the country needs a new face. And if the NPP will produce that new face to Ghanaians, characterized by an unblemished record of the person, with a fresh appeal and a message, I tell you, NPP will win 2024 elections.
If you don't have a fresh face, you will lose the 2024 election.
Well, if you look at the historical facts, the first example I've always been giving, Professor Mills was a sitting vice president to Rawlings. After 8 years of NDC, he became the candidate in 2000. NDC lost. The second example is Nana Akufo-Addo, President Akufo-Addo now, in 2008 was a candidate for NPP. He was part of the government of J.A. Kufuor. After 8 years, he became our candidate. The party lost. The third example is John Mahama. After 8 years of NDC, John Mahama as sitting president and a candidate, the NDC lost. So it shows you that after the party has been in government for 8 years,
you need a new face, not
you
an
need
old
a
face.
new face, because there is facial fatigue.
Wish you all the best, and we wish your face all the best on the ballot. Honorable Francis Addai-Nimoh, and
Thank you very
congratulations for making it to the top 5 or 6.
Thank you, Sander, for having me on Face to Face.
And thank you, viewers, for watching Face to Face on City TV. My name is Umaru Sanda-Amado. We return next week with Face to Face. This is City TV. Keep watching. It's your world.